Oh, mommy's here. Okay. I'll block that. Alright, my turn. Ooh, yeah, let's beseech. Beseech. Sacrifice the nowhere to run. Go get me Rankle's Prankle. Use it. All 3 effects. I will discard Unholy Annex and Fear of Isolation. You will lose everything. He will not. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Beseech the Mirror. Bargain. Sacrificing the Hopeless Knight. Actually, no, not the Hopeless. We'll sacrifice the Nowhere to Run. We'll go get the End. Cast it on that. Library, graveyard. Okay, get rid of that. There we go. That's better. Much better. And now we can just freely attack. Hey everyone! So recently there was a pretty decent tournament over at starcitygames, and this tournament caught my attention not because of the people playing it or the event itself, but mostly for a very single deck. This one deck really caught my attention. It was a Dimir tempo-based build that relied on bouncing its own enchantments over and over for value. I thought that was pretty cool. But I also thought to myself, you know what? I think I can do something a little bit different with this deck. So let's go take a look at my version of Dimir Self-Bounce. Let's go take a look at the deck. Okay, so here we are. This is the deck, and the deck still holds most of what the original deck did. And what the original deck was really trying to do was trying to play enchantments that have value and bounce them over and over for value. So the enchantments in question are things like Hopeless Nightmare, make someone discard a card, take 2 damage, or Nowhere to Run, which is a really solid removal spell, and honestly something that you should be keeping your eye open for when building your own decks, because this card is really taken over. It's a really, really good removal spell. But the way we utilize this is by running Fear of Isolation. It is a 2/3 flyer, but as an additional cost to cast this spell, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. Now typically an ability like that would be seen as a drawback, but in a deck like this is actually beneficial to us because it allows us to bounce Nowhere to Run or Hopeless Nightmare for reuse later. So really, really solid, especially if you go Hopeless Nightmare on 1 and then Fear of Isolation on 2, then on turn 3 you can Hopeless Nightmare again, make them discard even more cards. Other than that, we also have a couple copies of This Town Ain't Big Enough. Now this spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent you control, and it says return up to 2 target non-land permanents to owner's hand. So you can pay the full 5 and bounce 2 targets that your opponent controls back to their hand, or you can use this as intended and only pay 2 mana to bounce something like Nowhere to Run or Hopeless Nightmare back to your hand, and also a threat or a problematic permanent to the opponent's hand. Really, really solid card. Now, that's kind of where the similarities end with this deck. The rest of the deck is pretty different. The original deck was more of a tempo-based build, played a lot of creatures, a lot of tempo, a lot of self-bouncing your own stuff. I'm going in a different direction. My version of this deck is more of a demons and control deck. The demons come in the form of Unholy Annex and in the form of Archfiend of the Dross. Really solid win conditions for the deck. The Archfiend of the Dross often wins games on its own if left unchecked. And the Unholy Annex can drain your opponent out pretty easily when you have a demon on the table. And also, the Ritual Chamber side of this card provides you a demon, so you can very consistently have a demon on the table when you're playing this deck. Aside from that, other control elements we have in the deck is we have Phantom Interference and 3 Steps Ahead, 2 of each of those to counter spells. We have a couple of copies of Cut Down. We have 1 copy of Go for the Throat, 4 copies of Nowhere to Run, like we already talked about. And then we are running a lot of what I call silver bullets. The silver bullets is a term meaning cards that you only have one of in the deck, but that's okay because you're going to get to them eventually, either by drawing a lot of cards or using an effect like Beseech the Mirror to search them up out of your library. So what we are doing here with Beseech the Mirror is we're kind of capitalizing on cards like Nowhere to Run and Hopeless Nightmare. We play those out early, and if we don't need to bounce them for reuse, we can sacrifice them to Beseech the Mirror to go get anything that we need to fit our needs of the current game that we're in. So I'll give you a few examples. So let's say, for example, you have Beseech the Mirror, but you need more consistent draw. Well, that means we can go get Unholy Annex and put it directly onto the table. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. The bargain part is what really sells this card. If you don't bargain, then it's just a tutor. You go get a card, put it into your hand. But if you bargain it by sacrificing Nowhere to Run or Hopeless Nightmare, or a token or something like that, then you can go search your library for any card that costs 4 or less and put it directly onto the table. Play it immediately. So that means you can go get Unholy Annex, put it directly onto the table. Awesome. Other great effects is you can go get, Archfiend of the Dross. If you need your threat right now, go dig it up, put it directly onto the table. Awesome. Rankle's Prank is a great one of in this deck. And it honestly tends to be the card that I search up the most often in this deck, because its abilities are really good for different portions of the game. So it reads choose one or more, which means you can choose all 3 effects if you want to. And those effects are: each player discards 2 cards, each player loses 4 life, and each player sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. Oftentimes, I use it to make everyone sacrifice 2 creatures and discard 2 cards, because that effect right there can be very backbreaking against the right opponent. If they only have 2 creatures in play and 2 cards in hand, that sets them down to 0, and they're in top deck mode immediately. It's a really, really solid dig up. Aside from that, we have 1 copy of The End. The End is in here because sometimes there are creatures that you just need to eliminate from the game right now, and that's what this card does. It says, this spell costs 2 less to cast if your life total is 5 or less. That part's kind of irrelevant. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of those cards with the same name as that permanent and exile them. That player shuffles and then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. So that's a great card for getting rid of creatures with graveyard effects. Creatures like Aclazotz. Creatures like, Unstoppable Slasher is a great thing to get rid of with this. Or if your opponent's playing a really pesky planeswalker that you just want out of the game right now, eliminate it with The End. And it's totally searchable and playable by Beseech the Mirror. Awesome card. Another card that we can search up and play with Beseech the Mirror, but you can also just cast it for its bargain effect, is Back for Seconds. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. If this spell is bargained, you may put one of those cards with mana value 4 or less onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand. So that means if you have Fear of Isolation and Archfiend of the Dross, or even 2 Archfiends of the Dross in your graveyard, you can get them both back. One of them onto the table, and one of them into your hand. Really, really good stuff. And then, of course, you have a single copy of Go for the Threat. So those are your silver bullets for the deck. Now, as you can see, couple of things I didn't mention. These 2 cards you can't search up and play immediately. You can still search for them, but then you have to actually cast a spell, and that's Blasphemous Edict and Deadly Cover-Up. These are in here because I needed a couple guaranteed board wipes. Deadly Cover-Up is great because it clears the board, and if you collect evidence 6, then you can lobotomize a creature, or honestly any card in a graveyard, out of the game completely. So just like with The End, this will deal with another card that is very problematic for you. And then Blasphemous Edict is just a great way to clear the board in almost any situation, because it reads each player sacrifices 13 creatures of their choice. So in all but the most ridiculous board states, this is going to fully reset the board. So it's a really good card for you to go and dig up. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. The deck is a lot of fun. I've been playing it a lot lately, simply because it's good, it's fun, it's something that most players aren't going to expect, especially with the Beseech the Mirror shenanigans. I've had a lot of people rope me out because they were too busy reading Rankle's Prank to react appropriately. So a lot of the times people aren't going to know what you're playing against them with this deck, so that's a pretty fun thing too. Oh, and the lands, of course. You have 2 islands, 8 swamps, 4 Dark Slick Shores, 4 Gloom Lake Verge, 3 Restless Reef, and 4 Underground River. Now, the reason why we're running so many more swamps than islands is because of Beseech the Mirror. You really want to be able to hit your triple black effectively, so most of the cards that are producing mana are producing black mana, with the only exception being the 2 islands. That's it. So, yeah, that's the deck. So let's go take it out, play some games with it. I'll show you how this deck operates, and then we can meet back here and talk about the post-game wrap-up. So, see you in a bit. Okay, opponent goes first. We have Dark Slick Shores, 2 swamps. This town, nowhere to run, Beseech, and Deadly Cover-Up. Keep it. Alright, opponent goes first with Elegant Parlor. Alright, they dropped a Seer Slicer Goblin, so this is an aggro deck. So let's go here, Dark Slick Shores, play Hopeless Nightmare. Lose 2 life, discard a card. Alright, they discarded a Destroy Evil. Mountain Seer Slicer Goblin. Beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a Goblin. Alright, let's go here, and then I will say go. Hold open that nowhere to run mana. Into Sanctifier. Let's wait for them to try and cast another card. Pass. Alright, let's do it now. Drop the Seer Slicer. Alright, nothing else to do. Alright. Swamp. Let's play the Unholy Annex. Start drawing some cards. Alright, lose 2 life, draw a card. Dark Slick Shores. Okay, opponent plays a Sky Knight Squire. Oh. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play the Dark Slick Shores then. And I don't want to play a second one of those. We're already taking enough of a beating already. Yeah, let's say go. Enter. There we go. Restless Reef. Delnay. Okay. Well, now that you're tapped out... yeah, let's just let it go. Resolve all. Pass. Okay, let's go ahead and go with this townie big enough, taking the Nowhere to Run back to hand and the Sky Knight Squire back to hand. Take 1 damage. Okay, now that we have 4 mana, what we'll do here is we'll play the Restless Reef, and then I'm going to play... do we play Beseech to make him discard? Or sacrifice 2 creatures? Yeah, because if we do that, we'll only take 2 damage this turn. Alright, we'll go Beseech. Get rid of the Helpless Nightmare. The Scry doesn't matter. We'll go get... Where's that? Where is the card I'm looking for? There it is, Rankle's Prank. Alright. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures, and each player discards 2 cards. I will discard this, and the other Restless Reef. Cool. Alright, draw a card, lose 2 life. Hey, a counterspell. Do it, I'm tapped out. Sky Knight Squire, okay. Cool, it doesn't do anything, very nice. Alright, we're gonna go Gloom Lake Verge, and I'm going to unlock this and create a creature. And now we're going to gain 2 life. Look at that. Now we're doing stuff. Oh, sheltered by ghosts. You could have seen this one coming. That's fine. Alright. Well, let's get rid of that creature. Off you go. Alright, play Swamp. Play Archfiend of the Dross. And draw a card and gain 2 life. Thank you very much. It sounded like big enough for the both of us. No, it is not. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for realizing that. Alright, what do we have? 3 lands, a counterspell, a kill spell, a beseech, and an annex. I'll keep it. Do we have the privilege of going first? We do. That is honestly surprising. So, Gloom Lake. We have to play it Plains. Okay, let's go Swamp. And say next and turn. Go. We have to play it Plains. Pass. Alright, well, shoot, can't do anything. So, go. Underground River. Let's play the Unholy Annex. Draw a card, lose 2 life. Hey, it's a Daemon. Alright, Plains. Okay, they're gonna get lost my enchantment. That's fine. Alright, let's play Fear of Isolation. Autopay. Bounce the Gloom Lake Verge. Play it. End turn. Temporary lockdown. Okay. Do I care about this? I care enough. Sure. I'm okay with them needing to utilize 2 cards. But now I'm landlocked, so they kind of get to do whatever they want now. Metropolis Reformer. Flying, Vigilance, you have Hexproof. Okay, that's fine. At least they finally played something for me to kill. Hey, there's a land. Alright. Play that. Play Archfiend. Pass. Alright, play a Plains. Alright, show me a Sunfall. Play down Arms works too. Alright, let's go Underground River. I'm gonna Beseech. Autopay. I'm gonna throw away one of those. Give me a Ritual Chamber. I just want to draw some cards. Cool, that's what we like to see. Alright, let's play the Restless Reef. And let's activate the other side. Demon time! Draw a card. And drain 2 of your health. Alright, I like where this is going. Alright. Cool, alright. Next. Activate the Restless Reef. Attack for 10. Mill 4 of your cards. Not on my watch. Pop. Nice. I like that. GG. Yeah. Control them hard enough, I guess. Alright, what do I have? Darkslick Shores, Underground River. Nowhere to Run. Archfiend. What is wrong with my throat? Alright, 2 Beseeches and a Prank. Look at that. Ooh, not much better. I'll keep it. Alright, play the Gloom Lake Verge. Let's play a Caves of Koilos. I'll play a Swamp. That was a pretty cool deck, though. I like the idea. Alright, let's play Swamp, Unholy Annex. Start drawing some cards. Alright, play Island. Ether Channeler. Draw a card? Draw a card. Alright, let's play Underground River. Play Archfiend of the Dross. Draw a card, steal some health. Alright, play an Attica Wastes. Gonna blow up my Archfiend. Parting Gust. So he exiled it and gave me a fish. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and play an Archfiend of the Dross. Play Island. And attack with my fish. Island. What you gonna do over there, big guy? Charming Prince. Okay. Plays a Prince. He's gonna exile an attack creature you own, which on the battlefield under your control at the beginning of next step. Okay. Alright, it's back. And what do you choose? Return my demon to my hand? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, my turn. Well, let's see here. Let's go ahead. And we will play Nowhere to Run. On Ether Channeler. Twinning Twins. I'm gonna counter that. There you go. I'm gonna Hopeless Nightmare you now. There we go. No attacks with the fish. Nice. Oh, mommy's here. Okay. I'll block that. Alright, my turn. Ooh, yeah, let's Beseech. Beseech. Sacrifice the Nowhere to Run. Go get me Rankle's Prankle. Use it. All 3 effects. I will discard Unholy Annex and Fear of Isolation. You will lose everything. No. Alright. Play this Swamp. Play this Demon. Say next. Draw a card. You lose 2 life. Plains. Halo Forager. Okay. What's he going to try to get back? He's probably going to try to get a removal spell for my Archfiend of the Dross. Yeah. So that I don't kill him with the Unholy Annex next turn. Good game. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm liking it. Okay. Opponent goes first. We've got some action here. It's all reactive, though. Keep. Okay. Well, good to have a reactive action against this deck. You'll already know what it is when you see, like, the first land come down. Pass. Gloom Lake Verge. End turn. Let's play Mountain. Mono red in the house. Manifold Mouse. Pass. Resolve. Pass. Alright, end of turn. What you gonna do? Lose your creature. Alright, let's play another Darkslick Shores. And say go. Got nothing else going on. Balls in your cart, friend. Bolt wave. Sure. I'll take 3 damage. Shock. Alright, 2 more. He's gonna try and burn me out. Alright, Gloom Lake. Oh. Archfiend of Zidros. Artfire Hero. Alright, Restless Reef. Let's attack. There we go. Alright, end turn. I don't want to play out the second one just yet. Pass. Pass. Resolve. Resolve. Red Mosire, huh? Alright, well, let's do it now. Resolve. Alright, and now we kill it. And you lose 2 life. Yeah, I kind of figured that was game. GG. Okay, so this is not a good hand. That's a better hand. Alright, let's keep all of that except for... This town ain't big enough. The rest seems okay. Alright, they open with a Restless Vents. Alright, so let's open with Dark Shores so we can cut down whatever they send at us. Oh, okay, maybe they're not sending anything at all. Alright, Swamp. Nightmare. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Alright, okay, interesting. Haven't seen that in a long time. Marchesa, okay. Alright, let's go Underground River, Annex. A Grixis deck, how interesting. I do love a good Grixis deck. Alright, Marchesa's coming in. Liliana. Alright.
No more distractions.
Should play discard a card? Sure. I will discard the other Unholy Annex. Don't need 2 of those. Alright. Let's go ahead and play this Restless Reef. I am going to die to my own Unholy Annex. Maybe not. Maybe not. Resolve. Discard the card? Sure. Resolve that. I will discard the 3 steps ahead. Pass. Okay. Let's go nowhere to run. And then cut it down. Perfect. Had to deal with it somehow. Alright, let's go there. Punch.
You chose the wrong day to cross me.
Cool. Alright, plays a Restless Spire. I got a lot of manlands over there. Gonna make us both discard a card? Furnace, what does that do? When you unlock this door, this room deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature opponent controls. Okay, well, thankfully I don't have a creature. Let's see. Let's go play the Ghoul-Make Verge. And then Activate. Next. Attack. There. Go. Oh wow, that was a good mill.
A delay, nothing more.
You start to turn this around a little bit. Acrosats. Alright. Well, let's start with this. Then unlock here. By the Dark Slick Shores. Draw, you lose a life. Okay, so we need to get the end for Acrosats. Okay. Mill 3, mill 3. Discard a card. I will discard. Nowhere to run. Will you attack me? He will not. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Beseech the Mirror. Bargain. Sacrificing the Hopeless Knight. Actually, no, not the Hopeless. We'll sacrifice the Nowhere to run. We'll go get the end. Cast it on that. Library, graveyard. Okay, get rid of that. There we go. That's better. Much better. And now we can just freely attack. Punch. And enter. You lose 2 life, I gain 2 life, and draw a card. God damn, that card's good. That card is way too good. That card can be a win condition in itself. Okay, pass. Not going to animate and attack me? Okay, no problem. End of turn, activate this. We will scry for 2. I don't need either of those, honestly. Swamp's not much better. Alright. Next. We attack for 6. Okay, Sheldred's Verdict. Activate the Restless Reef. And then also tap it for a black mana, just in case. Oh, shoot! I'm dumb! Oops. Alright. End turn. Alright, I last you left that time. Reaction Espionage. Kicker. Draw 2 cards. The spell is kicked. Each opponent discards a card. Okay. Alright, play a land. Looks like he wants to animate one of those lands over there. Pass. Alright. My turn. Alright. Let's go here. I kind of need a demon right now. Go ahead and mill some cards. Okay. Resolve. Kill his blocker before he gets a chance to block with it. And punch. Enter. Ooh. That's good. That's another demon. Binding Negotiation. Alright. Probably go for the throat, honestly. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I would do too. That is a full graveyard. Look at that. Nasty. Alright, let's go swamp. Good game. Good game, Thag Orcsbane. Okay, here we are with the post-game wrap-up, and my thoughts on this deck are pretty much what you would expect. This deck is solid. When it comes to a Dimir control deck, you could definitely do worse. The only thing that I don't necessarily love about the deck is that it's kind of light on the counter spells. Only running 2 Phantom Interference and 2 3 steps ahead kind of makes you a little bit vulnerable. You could probably shore that up if you build a sideboard to take this into best of 3, add a couple negates to the sideboard or flash freeze, something like that. But aside from that, the deck is really solid. It's got enough removal to choke a horse. I'm a huge fan of the bargain mechanic and allowing you to play a card like Beseech the Mirror to go and dig up anything in your deck that you need at any given time. Other cards I might want to consider for this deck, I'd probably consider 1 copy of Sheoldred's Edict, because that's a pretty decent catch-all kind of card to eliminate pesky planeswalkers immediately. Aside from that, honestly, maybe just playing with the numbers a little bit, going up on 1 on Hopeless Nightmare, or going down 1 on Cut Down, or going up or down here or there on any of the other cards. I mean, you can iterate on this deck as much as you want to, but as for me personally, I think this deck is pretty tightly packed. The numbers look good. But yeah, I'd say the only real problem with the deck is that it doesn't have very good ways of dealing with problematic artifacts and enchantments. But blue and black aren't really good at that in general. There is 1 new card that came out with Duskmourn or Foundations. I forget which one. It was a black card that allowed you to deal with an enchantment, but you had to take damage in order to do it. Yeah, it's this right here, Withering Torment. So destroy target creature or enchantment, you lose 2 life. That is a possible candidate. It is a little bit expensive and comes with a drawback to use, but if you really need to deal with an enchantment, this is pretty much the best way to do it in current standard. Aside from that, you got bounce spells. So bounce spells can probably work as a good workaround too, but it's not a permanent solution. So yeah, that's pretty much your post-game wrap-up. I'm going to stop rambling now. I will put a link to the deck list in the description box down below, so you can take a look at this yourself, take it out for a spin, play a few games, maybe even iterate on it further yourself, and make the deck even better than I did. So yeah, there it is. And until next time, y'all take care of yourselves.